So many people are not paying attention to time and they're being robbed of their years through the sedative of pleasure. When fun is your focus and an obsession with entertainment causes you to discard responsibility, your endorphins and carnal nature will cause you to be oblivious to the reality of the shortness of seasons. If you're not careful, you will look up and have wasted years being involved in pointless activities, toxic relationships, and irrelevant practices that heist time from you. Understand, there's nothing wrong with creating joyous moments, having exciting participations, or engaging in delightful indulgences within the confines of integrity. But when that's the only thing you're focused on and it becomes priority over purpose, it's only a matter of time before you are in deep regret, a midlife crisis, or you're saying things like, where did the time go? This is what I know for sure. Maturity is not always an organic evolution. Sometimes it really is just making a conscious, intentional decision to choose the fulfillment of destiny over the gratification of the flesh. A young man that I was mentoring told me, man, it's so hard to focus on my purpose because I love these women. I said, boy, you better learn how to pick purpose over shoes and food.
Yeah, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
About that video, what is your opinion about that? You know what I'm saying? Because when I think about purpose and go out there and get what you need, I'm not just talking about financially. You know, you got to be mentally. You got to be mentally right. You got to be mentally wealthy, emotionally wealthy, for you to bring a certain standard to a relationship, a certain stability to a relationship, and especially when you're about to have kids or you try to create kids or create a family. You have to have some type of emotional and mental stability about yourself. Because the worst thing you could do is turn around and create a family and you got a bunch of kids who are emotionally unstable. Why? Because the daddy's emotionally stable. Because the mama's emotional. So now you creating a bad situation for the whole. I mean, as a whole, the family as a whole. And that's not good. So make sure your guys are emotionally stable and mentally all well together. And not just all the way in your pockets. But my question for you, what do you think about the video? I'm sorry, JR.
As far as me, man, I mean, when he said it, I was thinking along the lines of not getting distracted on not valuing what everybody or most of the world values, which is like sex, money, and everything else. Just making sure that you tap back into your purpose, whatever your purpose may be. So don't focus necessarily on the pleasure things, but the important things. So that's what I kind of took away from the video. I think family is one of the most important things that we have not mastered yet. We have not mastered communication. We have not mastered how to raise our children, and we have not mastered our emotions. Those are just some of the things that I know that we have not mastered. You really have to sacrifice. I think I spoke about this on King Talk. You really have to sacrifice a lot when it comes to parenting. So whenever you bring children into the world, both man and woman have to be able to show up in a particular type of way, which means that you're going to have to eliminate some of those pleasure moments and them urges in order to make sure that that child is raised the way it's supposed to be. And if you got children, it's the same way. I know people that only have one child and they're struggling. So just imagine having multiple children and being able to like multitask and handle everything to be able to make sure that they get what they need. But most children don't have what they need. Most children don't have the emotional support. Most children are lacking in so many areas. And because we don't even know what that is, we're constantly creating the same cycle and raising the same type of children. And that's the reason why the world is the way it is now and our community is the way it is because we're not making a difference in our homes first. And we got to look towards the future. We can't worry about grown folks and what grown people are stubborn. A lot of people don't want to change. A lot of people are afraid to change. A lot of people are afraid to take risks. So you trying to change somebody that's completely grown, it's just not going to happen. It's just not idea. The most logical way to be able to make change to me is within your home. Change yourself first and then make sure you change and push that change within your household and hopefully the world will be a better place. That's your job.
Yeah, and JR, to build off what you just said, right on, man. I'm gonna let that breathe a little bit. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over that, but that was fire. But to build off what you said, I left the show. When y'all see me, I was at the park even trying to talk. I said, man, I can't keep doing it. Because now, nothing against JR on the show. I love the show. But my son and my family is more important. So I got to put my priorities right. So I said, let me log off because I'm not giving the show my full 100% like I should, like it deserves. But I'm here to support my son. So I had to make sure I was there to support my son. He's seen me rooting for him, cheering him on, encouraging him, as well as his teammates, because that's what it's all about, family. When I decided to have my son, or when I decided to have my daughter, it's not about me no more, guys. When you decide to have kids, it's not about you. I know you want to continue to have a good time. I understand. That selfishness kicks in. But then at the end of the day, you got to think about it's not about me anymore, because I made a decision to create a child, to create a legacy. And if that's the case, that means I may need certain sacrifices. I know we want to go out and have a good time and turn up, but that means I may need to come in early because I know I got to get to work, because in order to work, I got to continue to eat. If I don't work, I don't eat. It means my family's not being fed. Shame on me as a man. I got to continue to put food on my table because I got to go to work. If that means certain sacrifices I got to make, it means maybe my weekends are not like free like they used to. So be it. Because I'm looking at the bigger purpose, the bigger picture. I'm looking at and making sure I take care of the decisions that I made. And that's my family. Whether it's my wife or my kids or any extended family that I consider family. And if they depend on me, hey, I need to be there for them and make sure I'm doing what I need to do. So like you said, Jay, our family is very important. Unfortunately, I think we got away from it. We Black folks used to be big on family. There was no thing to have a get together on Sunday for Sunday dinner. You know, you could have had a falling out at church that Sunday morning where, you know, somebody's talking about somebody's crown. Man, your grandmother's crown was looking crazy. Why was she wearing that hat like that? You know, that ugly ass dead flower she got in her crown on Sunday. But guess what? We're going to get together. We're going to laugh and joke about it at the kitchen table while eating a plate of chicken and greens and with some cornbread. You understand what I'm saying? That's what we're going to do. We used to do that at family. Come together. Wasn't no big deal. I didn't know, people didn't always know your neighbors 2 streets over. But guess what? We'll get to know them. We'd be wanting to go over and bring them a, you know, some type of dish or something. Welcome to the neighborhood. That's how we used to. Now, we so individualistic, we don't even give a damn people don't even know who the next door neighbor is, let alone 2 streets over.